What's up, world? We're back in the impromptu Jeff on his Peloton bike training series. And in this video, I am going to share with you how I took the worst day of my life and turned it into the best day of my life. And just so you know that the premise is true, my wonderful wife is gonna tell you that it really did happen that way.
It's true. He did tell me earlier it was the worst day of his life.
But then what did I say when you just got home?
That it's the best day of his life.
Woo! All right, so you heard it there, like legit. I did say earlier, I don't know if I actually said it was the worst day of my life, but I was like really pissed and I was having a really frustrating day. And just now, my wife came home a couple hours later. She's like, "Oh, how's it going?" I was like, "It's awesome. I'm crushing it. I've got 2 hours in on the bike. I'm at 1,400 active calories. My heart rate's almost 150 beats a minute. I've already knocked out 3 videos for my channel, and I'm about to crush another one. I'm killing it. It's the best day of my life." And she goes, "Wow, that's a big change. Earlier you said it was the worst day of your life." Now, let's be clear. Today has been neither the best nor worst day of my life. I do get a little excited, but earlier today, I was feeling very frustrated, very unproductive, very stunted and stalled and stagnant and stupefied. Let's see if I can keep the ST thing going. And stuck. See what just happened? I got stuck trying to think of another ST word. Yeah, so anyways, I was having one of those days. And the reason I was having one of those days is because I had 2 main things that I needed to do today. I needed to get my long cardio session done today, because I don't know if you can tell, but I started to pack it on a little bit, and we got family pictures coming up in 4 weeks or whatever. So I got to trim down a little bit. Plus, I've committed to my audience to be physically, personally, and professionally excellent. I got to stay in shape or I look like a hypocrite, right? It's the power of branding. It's the power of public commitment. It's the power of transparency. It's the power of putting yourself out there. It creates this momentum. It creates this trajectory for your life that you got to follow through on. Deep down, subconsciously, we're more embarrassed. We're more worried about letting other people down than we are ourselves. It is what it is. It's a quirk of human nature. Might as well harness it. Use it to your own advantage. But anyways, so I had to get my bike ride done. But I also had all these videos to shoot because it's the first of the month right now. And we just put this new process in place where I got to get a month's worth of content done the month ahead of time so that it can go into the production cycle for captions and bumpers and on-screen animations, motion graphics, descriptions, any other resource gathering, put in links, affiliate links, whatever needs to go with the videos. It has to get edited and formatted, squared off for Facebook, truncated for Instagram, create the full widescreen version for YouTube. There's this whole process, right? And I built a team. 13 months ago when I started doing this, it was like little old me doing it all at my computer. I was wearing like 9 hats. But these things grow. The more you put yourself out there, the more you are a stand, an unapologetic, unintimidated stand for who you want to be in this world, for the greatness that you believe you can embody if you're just bold enough to do it. And eventually people gravitate towards that. And they see what you're doing and they want to be on that train because you might be the most positive thing in your life. I've had people that work for me say they wouldn't even care if I stopped paying them. They'd still figure out how to work for me. They might have to get a second job. And by no means, if you work for me, this is not advance notice that I'm about to stop paying you. But I'm just saying, I've had people say that they would still work for me as much as they could because I'm the most positive thing in their life. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? You want to build a team? You want to build loyalty? You want to build a business? You want to build momentum in this world? Be the most positive thing in somebody's life and see what they'll do to help you. So now I got a team. With a team comes process. We built a process, but my process requires that I get a month's worth of videos done ahead of time. And it's the first of the month, and my videos aren't done. So I got a ton of videos I got to knock out today. I got family pictures coming up. I got to cut weight. I got to do my long cardio. I got to I always work on my phone or my iPad while I'm biking. I got so many things to do, right? And I was in such a bad mood earlier. My wife, she was like, what is wrong with you? And I said, I just wasted half a day on the phone with freaking PayPal. I hope a senior executive at PayPal sees this video and knows the deep feelings that I have about your company, but not so deep that I'm going to slander you or say anything specifically bad about you, mainly because I don't want my PayPal account shut down. But I was very frustrated with you earlier today between PayPal and this construction supply company that I was on hold with, trying to get the PayPal payment to release so they could actually release the flooring, because I had contractors there to pick up the flooring to go install in the house because I'm flipping a house, and it's been dragging on for months and months, and PayPal's holding the funds, and it's just a whole mess. Anyways, half a day just pissed away dealing with red tape, big business, just like Kafka-esque nonsense, right? The kind of stuff that just gets in your, it's like a grain of sand in one of your joints. It just irritates you and makes you miserable. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking away and I'm not doing my biking or my videos. Jacqueline's like, man, you seem like you're having a rough day. And I was real extreme about it. I might have even said it's the worst day of my life. And yet here I am. I've been on the bike for 2 hours and 10 minutes. This is the 4th video that I've shot during this time. And what has happened? Why am I so damn excited about life? Because I got busy. I finished being stuck and I started being in motion. And I've been pumping away on the bike, shooting videos, figuring out my best self, getting back in touch with my superego. And I'm not saying that I'm super, and I'm not talking about ego in a bad way. I'm talking about the Freudian superego, the idealized self, the best version of yourself, the version of yourself that isn't scared, the version of yourself that strives, the version of yourself that holds to virtues. I personally love it. I look at life now as, remember in math, talk about a parabolic curve. It gets closer and closer to a line, but it never actually touches. It becomes just a mathematical quirk, infinitesimal variance between the line and the curve. They never actually touch. This is my superego. This is my idealized self. This line is who I desire to be in this world. And the curve is where I'm actually at, striving and striving, getting closer and closer. I know I'll never get there. I know I'll never get there. Not to get all spiritual, but that's the Christian in me. I know I'll never get there. I'll work to get close. And you should too, because life's a whole lot better when you look at it as a one-shot deal to be as great as possible. And greatness isn't about comparison. Comparison is the thief of happiness. Greatness is not about being better than anyone else. Greatness is not a zero-sum game. Greatness is about how much greatness you create in this world. People think greatness is like something you consume, something you take for yourself, so other people can't have it. Greatness is how you approach this world. Excellence is how you approach this world. You do it humbly. You do it recognizing that you don't get credit for any of it. You were created. The moment before you were conceived, you weren't there to move any part of your life forward. It was a pure act of other people's volition that even made you into a zygote, much less got you out the canal and onto your feet and fed and reared and clothed and educated. You don't get credit for any of it. But you have an opportunity to show the world how grateful you are for it by paying it forward. Paying it forward loudly, paying it forward consistently, abundantly, and with relentless energy to lift everyone up around you by making your life an example of what's possible when you don't squander your gifts. It's not about taking credit for the gifts. They're gifts. They were given. You don't take credit for them. You don't squander them. Just don't squander your gifts. Key to life, don't squander your gifts. What do I do? How do I move my life forward? I'm feeling stuck. I don't know. What gifts were you given? Identify them. Now use them. Don't squander them. That's it. That's how to move your life forward. Not to sound like, unkind or flippant about people's challenges, but that will always be the answer. Identify some gift that you have been given by virtue of being alive and present in this world and use it strategically. Because if you're not, you're squandering it, and there's no excuse for that. So, how did I turn such a frustrating day into such a great day? I took massive levels of action. Again, here I will share this with you. I don't want to lose momentum here. Oh, my foot's stuck, hold on. Oh, but I will share this with you. That's where I'm at for my bike ride. 2 hours, 12 minutes in, 1,500 active calories. Heart rate's up around 146. Remember, I got 3 more videos to shoot. I'll be on here at least 3 hours. Massive levels of action. You say, oh, Jeff, how do you pay for that? Like, it's a Friday. Aren't you supposed to be at work? Yeah, I am at work. Because the same way I'm approaching this project is how I approach my digital business that generates income via these amazing systems, these gifts that we were all given, that frankly most of us are squandering. If you're not leveraging these insane platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat and WhatsApp and I don't know about Skype so much. Email. I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from email. That thing that like your grandparents are just figured out how to do. You can do it too. And you can pay $20 a month to sign up for a system that'll do it for you automatically. And then you can build a list. And you can pre-write follow-ups to go out to that list and embed links into those follow-ups that allow people to buy stuff and make thousands of dollars. Start by making hundreds of dollars. Jeff made $40 million in 12 years. I'm a failure if I don't do that. I lost money my first few months. Start small. Just get a win. It's called compound interest. It starts with a little win. It starts with a little deposit. Money coming in instead of going out. And you might have to work for months. I know some people had to work for years to get to profit $1. Think about school. You worked for years to go to school. You went to school for 13 years of grade school, 4 years of college, more years for some people, just going backwards financially the whole time. 13 years draining your parents, maybe 4 more years draining your parents, depending on your situation. Maybe you had to get a job and pay for it yourself and go rack up a bunch of debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You just digging yourself a giant hole for decades to get educated. It takes most professionals 20 years to get to profit $1. You're saying, that's too much. Jeff said it might take 6 months. I don't want to put in the time. Come on. What do you want out of this life? What are you willing to do for it? What chances are you willing to take? What judgments are you willing to risk? Are you willing to have people say that you're crazy, that you're out there, that you're ungrateful, that you should satisfy, that you should be, what's the word? What's that? Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. Remember everybody takes Soma? Everybody takes Soma to just kind of mellow out. It's like the Matrix, right? It's that whole mindset of like pacify the masses. Juvenile called it bread and circuses. Like it's always been there throughout history. How do we get people to just take the blue pill and shut up about their freedoms and their individual needs and their deepest desires and their want for fulfillment and passion? Can't you all just be quiet and clock in and clock out and do the work we need you to do? I opted out of that. It was hard for a while. It was this guy's out there. We liked him more when he was a jazz musician because at least then we knew what cubby to fit him into. He's the artsy, eclectic, discontent, weirdo guy that wants to make this bizarre music that only him and his musician friends even really like listening to that much. At least we know what to do with him, right? No wonder he didn't succeed in school. He's just one of those guys that doesn't fit in. What are we supposed to do with him now? He's got millions of dollars now. He's got thousands of fans now. He's making a splash now. What are we supposed to do with this guy? He's rallying people. He's showing them that they could opt out too. C&D him. I don't know when it's coming. I'm just kidding. I'm not like some big crazy Alex Jones conspiracy guy. I don't think the Illuminati is about to cease and desist me or anything. I'm well aware that I'm not nearly that big of a deal. But I love it. I love the idealized self, the concept of the idealized self, to live on principle, to turn your life into perhaps something it really isn't in a practical level, a battleground where you get to stand on principle. You get to wage a crusade for stuff that you believe. Because, the world, nobody cares that much. We live in an apathetic world. We live in the postmodern age. Nobody's taking you that seriously, Jeff. You're not waging anything. You're just a guy on the internet yapping just like every 7-year-old who makes slime. That's fine. That's not how I see it. The work I do matters because I decided that I wanted the work I do to matter. So I picked work that matters to me. And look out, world. Thousands and thousands of people getting on board, Not doing anything crazy, not doing anything reckless, not going, well, Jeff said I should quit my job and go whatever, charge the castle. Or no, I'm saying, look, take your time, optimize your time, take your 168 hours a week, figure out how to carve out 10 or 20. I didn't quit my job to do what I did. I didn't spend 14 hours a day learning to market on the internet because I burned all my boats and quit my job. I didn't have a job. Life put me in that situation. I worked that hard out of desperation. I'm not telling anybody else to be crazy and reckless. I'm saying carve out some time, learn some skills, make some different choices, say yes to some new things, say no to some old things, make a few cuts in your life, start building. Focus exclusively on one question with every bit of free time that you have. What cash flow producing asset am I building? We're going through right now and we're restructuring all of Entra's training for 2020. And I don't know when you'll see this video. This is the beautiful thing about the internet. This video right here, this is a passive cash flow producing asset for me because I practice what I preach at any given time in the space that I can control, the space that I'm not with my family, in the space that I'm not on phone calls or meetings. I say, what can I build right now to generate long-term cash flow that's some sort of an asset, that feeds some sort of a business, that ultimately builds my legacy? And that's what I spend my time on. And that's what anybody can spend their time on. Anyway, we're redoing the training inside Entra right now to be exclusively focused with a willingness to slash away anything that doesn't fit this definition. Focused on building assets that produce cash flow. We are unifying the definition of the new economy to say that it is all about real estate. There are simply two kinds of real estate in this world, digital and physical. And frankly, they're dovetailing more than people realize, where the line's already pretty blurred. Whether it is digital cash flow producing real estate or physical cash flow producing real estate, the only job you have in this world in terms of building your legacy, taking care of your family, creating generational wealth, having massive impact, I shouldn't say the only job, I should say the first job, the primary job, is building that base. You want to change the world? Control the resources. And you say, oh, control the resources. He's talking about greed. He's talking about exclusion. He's talking about a zero-sum game where he takes because other people give and he adds while other people subtract. That's not how it works. Remember what I said about greatness. The same is true of wealth. It expands. It's creative energy. Wealth is energy. That's why when you want to start a company and you want to grow, and you have an idea, but you're like, I don't have the resources. What do? You go either borrow money or you find an investor and you raise money and you put money in. And what does that money do? It turns into energy and it allows you to expand the idea, grow the idea, hire, train, staff, scale, market, promote. Next thing you know, you have thousands of jobs created, billions of dollars created. Do you think Apple subtracts growth from the world? You think Amazon people say, oh, Amazon mistreats its workers. Amazon has added so much wealth to this world. It's creative destruction. It's an economic principle coined by Joseph Schumpeter. But these companies, they create so much more. And yeah, they get to a point where they're big and they're easy to criticize. You say, oh, their practices aren't as humane as they could be. I agree. They probably aren't. And that's a valid point. As somebody who puts a lot of content out on the internet, I get a pretty interesting take on the actual pulse of the internet. And there are a lot of people who just hate business. And they hate rich people. And they hate wealth. And they hate people who talk about it. And they hate me. And I'm here to tell you, we're solving a lot more problems than you are. If you're one of those people that hates wealth, you're attacking the people that are out there some of them at least, out there trying to solve the problems that you're talking about. My point, all that to say, I turned today into a great day by taking massive action and doing aggressive, bordering on, I would call them hypomanic, not full mania. Full mania is destructive. Hypomania, there's actually some good brain research out there about how really successful people have a hypomanic state that they're able to access, where they're able to produce almost superhuman amounts of effort, right? And that's, for your A-level entrepreneurs, your CEOs, your athletes, your just high-level, high-achieving people in entertainment. I guarantee you, Oprah Winfrey has a hypomanic state. Stephen King, you see how many books that guy's written? totally has a hypomanic state. I think he probably lives there. Jeff Bezos, Amazon guy, hypomanic state. Elon Musk, that guy oozes hypomanic state. That's probably why he started smoking pot, was just to take the edge off. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of nuts. That's how you get the work done. And to me, it's how you turn a shitty day into a great day. Figure out that state, find that place in your life, go there and get some work done and spend that focused energy building assets that produce cash flow. If you want to know more about that, you want to learn different techniques for that, I like the sound of that. I want to have a life that's funded. I want to be a trust fund baby who built his own. Then learn how to build assets that produce cash flow. Maybe check out Entre. Check out entrenation.com. That's our free community. We've got paid courses you can upgrade to from there, but you'll find a ton of great stuff in Entre. And subscribe to my channel. At this point, you probably have a pretty good sense of who I am and what I stand for. And if you're on board with this stuff, you might like some of my other videos. So click that subscribe button. Click the bell to get notified as new videos come out. And come along on this incredible journey, because I have made a decision. I'm going to prove, as the guinea pig in my own laboratory, how awesome life is meant to be. I'm gonna take as many people with me as I can. So come be one of those people. It'll be a lot of fun. Appreciate your time. Catch you next time.